Baseball is presented by Truist. Interleague style tonight. Boston Red Sox in down to take on the 30-14 Atlanta Braves. Hello again, Braves country. Brandon Gaudin, Christopher John Nikowski here in the booth with all of you on this Friday night. And the Braves are going to get to see Spencer Strider take the hill here at Truist Park for the first time this season. So 2 starts so far for Spencer, CJ. 1 not so great in Colorado, but the last time out at Dodger Stadium, he was fantastic.
And I think he was seeing red when we were in Los Angeles. It was impressive. Yeah, there were some struggles in Colorado. He wasn't quite himself. He gets to L.A., and he was a man on a mission. He was excellent with his 8 strikeouts. It was the command of the fastball, I think, that really stuck out. All the numbers that you were looking for were there. He was absolutely terrific. And then the slider. The slider was back in a big way. He manhandled Shohei Ohtani right from jump as that game started, and it never stopped over those 6 innings for Spencer Strider. So we look forward to seeing that here, maybe again tonight. And it's just good to see that version of Spencer Strider, knowing it is still inside that right arm. Now against the Red Sox, not nearly as tough as an opponent.
Yeah, so the Red Sox, they're 7 games under 500. Already the manager change away from Alex Cora. Braves offense best in baseball. For the Red Sox, they're kind of on the other end of the spectrum.
They are in a pretty big way, and that has been a big problem here in Boston to make changes, as you mentioned there, with Alex Cora. But take a look at this side by side. It is big brother and little brother right now. Runs per game, OPS. The home runs have been a real problem in Boston. Think about that ballpark. It's a great place to hit home runs. They can't do it. They can't score there. Starters ERA for the Braves dominant compared to the Red Sox.
It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. It is the Red Out with the Red Sox in town. Everybody at Truist is going to be wearing red tonight to support the Atlanta Braves. When we come back, we're going to talk about the new night shift, the 7-8-9 combo of Lee, of Suarez, and of Iggy. Nick and Pete will talk about those relievers when we return.
Back into this bullpen has been absolutely incredible. We've seen this story before. You go back about 15 years ago, we saw a trio of bullpen guys who were absolutely dominant. We see it again this year.
Doesn't feel like it's been 15 years, but anytime I get to talk about some former teammates is a great day for me. We're talking about, of course, Ventbril, Eric O'Flaherty, Johnny Venters, and Craig Kimbrell absolutely dominated in 2011. As you can see there, combined 1.66 ERA across the course of the whole season. These guys were absolutely dominant, like I said. Craig Kimbrell came in and would just blow fastballs by everybody. Johnny Venters had the most disgusting sink you've ever seen, and O'Flaherty, well, he just did it all year long. Kind of reminds me a little of something we're seeing this year. Dylan Lee, Raisel Iglesias, and Robert Suarez have been, if not as good, probably a little bit better when you look at the numbers. I know it's early in the season, but when you're comparing these 3 guys against 3 of the best to ever do it in a Braves uniform, the numbers look really good, Nicky G.
Yeah, this is the John Point Associates, the strong arm. Through May 14th, you can take a look at the numbers. O'Flaherty, Venters, and Kimbrell on the left, and then Lee, Suarez, Iggy on the right. Been pretty impressive so far for the back end of this Braves bullpen. We have to hat tip Brady Penn, who brought up this idea to compare this trio to O'Flaherty, Venters, and Kimbrell as well. So thanks for that tip. Peter Moylan, you did a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
You know who else does a fabulous job?
Paul Bird.
Paul Bird, he's on the other side.
Baseball is brought to you by Comcast Business. All in connection and protection your small business can rely on. No one does business like Comcast Business. By your local Ford dealers. And by the Georgia Lottery. Get a nice hit of cash with a new hit family of scratchers from the Georgia Lottery.
Welcome back to Truist, everybody. Well, they say defense wins championships, but they don't really mean it. How do I know that? Well, because Andrew Jones would have been in the Hall of Fame a lot sooner if people really did believe the defense wins championships. But as a former pitcher, yeah, I can tell you it does. Here's one of the standouts on this team, newcomer Mauricio Dubon, telling us why.
Grounds crew always been asking us questions what we think about, the infield, we need more water, it's more dry and everything, and they always, compliant to our requests and everything, And I see those guys working in after games, before games, coming in here, leaving the field around 11, 12 a.m., then coming back here at 9 a.m. and it's an everyday thing. You got this. Sometimes you get concerts here and everything, and then they're making sure we get everything. I mean, it's hard work, man, and sometimes it goes unnoticed.
How cool is that guy giving credit? How about this catch up against the wall? Eli, we hope you are doing well. The shout outs. Mauricio Dubon buys dinner for all of the grounds crew before the games because he loves how much time they spend on the field. And when I asked him about the defense, he said a lot of it is due to them and their hard work. If you can't pull for this guy, I cannot help you. How about our below the surface? From Georgia Aquarium, you see the numbers right there, third fewest in MLB on the airs. That's really not a big deal for me. It's the great plays that they all make. Olsen and Dubon again with the outs above average. It's hard to do everything well. It's hard to hit, it's hard to run, throw, hit for power, and have speed and play great defense. But this team does so many things well. Red Sox are back in town. You know who else is back in town? Gretchen Caney. She is in the truck. Brandon, Christopher John on hot sticks, looking sharp. It is the Kaiser Permanente Friday night showdown in red. Spencer Strider on the hill. You don't want to miss it.
Day in the A. Big crowd, big energy, big swings. The Red Sox, the Braves. Are you ready? Let's paint the town red. No place you'd rather be, young or old, than right here at Truist Park under abundant sunshine and no cloud in sight. Friday night baseball, a red out, Red Sox and Braves, game one of a 3-game series. A sellout tonight as well. 40,000 will be filling up here at Truist Park, ready for this interleague matchup between a Red Sox team that comes in 7 games under 500 at 18-25, and the Braves still with that best record in baseball at 30-14. And you see the hats that both teams will be wearing, and these hats in honor of Armed Forces Day, which is tomorrow, will be worn all across Major League Baseball today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Let's get you the lineup for the Boston Red Sox. Already had the manager change this year from Alex Cora to Chad Tracy. And Chad Tracy 8-8 since taking over at the end of April. And it starts at the top with Jarren Duran. New acquisition Contreras has been providing some of the pop in the cleanup spot in the order with 8 home runs for the Boston Red Sox. And Spencer Strider pacing, ready to make his first home start of 2026, and he leads the boys out onto the field here at Truist Park.
Take a look at the numbers. You mentioned it. First one at home now here for Spencer Strider, the second one of the season. That is the start that we've talked about and what he did against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good news. The fastball is back. He has got the induced vertical break. The velocity, the command were all good. The slider was there as well for Spencer Strider. And so now, no doubt, he's got some chills thinking about that first start at home this season as we take a look at the pitch arsenal. You got the 4-seam fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Now, don't be fooled by that higher curveball usage. A lot of that had to do with that first start in Colorado. The slider wasn't there. He pivoted quickly, and he went to the curveball instead. That number probably comes down as the season goes on, but it is always about number 1 and number 2, the 4-seam fastball and the slider for Spencer Strider.
CJ, how about your Ford Keys on this Friday night?
We're going to go with second in command and thinking about the secondary pitches for Spencer Strider. I know it's only 2 starts, but he is not allowed to hit on anything but his fastball so far this year. That has been kind of fun. And you know about the early bird. What does he get? Well, think about this with Connolly early, who's going today. If your at bat goes 3 pitches or less, you hit 291 against him. If he gets to 4 pitches or more, it's 147. The early bird gets the hit against Connolly early.
Yeah, the lefty starting for the Red Sox. Now here's the defense brought to you by Racetrack. Behind Spencer Strider, Azokar will get the call in right field tonight with the lefty early on the mound. And Sandy Leon behind the dish tonight for the Atlanta Braves. Braves continuing this 6-game homestand. They took 2 of 3 from the Cubbies. The Cubbies salvaged the series with a 2-0 win yesterday. And now Atlanta will try to get back on the winning side of things tonight, hosting the Boston Red Sox for 3. 76 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. A picture perfect night for baseball. And off we go. Vic Carapazza is the home plate umpire tonight.
Kind of middle of the road so far this season. 48 out of 81 umpires so far this season. We'll look at his correct call percentage. Does have 18 ABS overturns in 10 games, so less than 2 per game.
He was the crew chief out in Anaheim when there was that dust up between Soler and Reynaldo Lopez. So he was the one that ultimately ejected those 2 guys after that little melee on the field. And now that crew is here working this 3-game series at Truist Park this weekend. Edwin Moscoso, Hunter Wendelstedt, Nick Lentz, 3rd to 1st. So a good start last time out for Strider against the Dodgers. That first one a little bumpy in Colorado, and now he makes his season debut here at Truist Park, and he's dealing a 3-1 pitch to Jarren Duran. And he gets a swing at a pitch that maybe was out of the zone.
A good ride on his fastball there, and the command is what we'll keep an eye on. I don't think anybody's concerned about the stuff based on what we saw last time, and it's only a couple of pitches in, but he was trying to go to the glove side where he missed.
Misses upstairs with a 97-mile-per-hour heater. Duran with a leadoff walk.
Well, that'll bother Spencer Strider for a couple of reasons. One, of course, you don't want to walk the first hitter of the game, but Duran has never been a guy in his career where he's had a high walk rate. It has always been below league average.
Remember, for Strider, that first game in Colorado, we talked about it in the pregame. He had 5 walks. The command wasn't there. Just 2 walks last weekend against the Dodgers. This batter, Mickey Gasper, just called up last week, so his 5th game of the season, only his 63rd Major League Baseball game overall, but getting the start at the DH spot with a righty on the mound.
A little mustache off going on right now. Now, Spencer Strider has a mustache. The guy on the left's got a ferret on his lip.
There's a lot going on for Mickey Gasper. Both are pretty strong, though.
Yeah.
We're going to give the edge to 99, of course. And 99 is going to get Gasper to fly out to Dubon. One away.
That was a great story that Paul Bird shared regarding Mauricio Dubon and what he does for the grounds crew here. I mean, Braves fans have already fallen in love with this guy, clearly. And then you hear that, you get a little bit of the taste of the personal side and the appreciation for those that are doing the work behind the scenes. That was amazing.
Yeah, he buys them dinner as a thank you for all that they do to keep this field beautiful. Something he also, Paul Bird said, used to do during his time in Houston with the Astros. Dubon is just a classy individual all the way around.
I think there's some grounds crew around the league going, hey, telling their guys, you see this? See what Dubon does?
You guys know who Mauricio Dubon
is? In Atlanta? I'm kind of hungry.
Hitting 3rd, Wilyer Abreu, the right fielder. So this offense for the Red Sox has had their issues this season. They're near the bottom in most offensive categories. They haven't shown a lot of power. They haven't really hit for average either as they try to find themselves here in 2026. Checked out at first. Sliding back, Duran safe.
And he's a perfect 9 for 9 so far this year as Jarren Duran. That was a big jump. Even if it was a fake break, that was a little bit much, and he was able to get back in time.
Seems like that fastball a little high, and he's leaving it arm side.
Yep, and even again, the couple of times he tried to go into the lefties, he was also missing to arm side. So that's a matter of slowing yourself down. A lot of times there's key points, and he knows what they are for him specifically, but maybe staying over the rubber a little bit longer, getting the hands separated a little bit quicker.
Duran runs for second. He's going to have to turn around. Riley, just enough room over there. And Duran does scramble back. So 2 down, and now Wilson Contreras, off-season trade from the St. Louis Cardinals. They got him to add a right-handed power bat for Fenway Park, and Contreras has provided the pop. 8 homers, 23 driven in. It's really been a lot of the other guys, CJ. You look up and down their lineup, and they have not gotten a ton of production from guys not named Contreras.
Nope, and that was a real concern coming in. Abreu's been pretty good, but especially when you talk about the power stuff, it has been a real problem in the infield, but it really was to be expected. They did not make the move that they were hoping to make in their infield. They brought in Chad Durbin via trade to play third base. Good player. Trevor Story's got the night off tonight. So you got Monasterio over at short. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa came in. You see him on the right, kind of help out on the bench, but it's not a power bat. And the same thing with Meyer.
The second fewest homers in baseball, but this guy's done his part. I think they got him. Yes! Strider picks off Duran, and after all that, he faces the minimum in the first. Let's see if the Red Sox want to challenge it. They do not.
Great work here from Spencer Strider. Remember a year ago, 4 pickoffs, and the timing was perfect, and a good tag there by Matt Olson.
A portion of proceeds benefit the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Get your tickets at braves.com/BravesCountryFest.
So Boston nothing in the top half. On to the bottom of the first, Mauricio Dubon will lead things off tonight for the Atlanta Braves. Racetrack lineup for Walt Weiss looks like this, with Leon and Azócar rounding things out in the 8th and 9th spots. And on the mound, it's the lefty Connolly Early getting the ball tonight for Boston. CJ, just his 13th big league start, his first ever against Atlanta.
He was excellent last year in that first opportunity at the big league level, and he's been pretty good so far this year. The walk's a little bit high. Strikeout rate is about average, and the fastball will sit right at 94.
But he has produced for the Red Sox as the 24-year-old from Virginia.
See a changeup, curveball, slider, sweeper, also a 2-seamer to go along with the 4-seamer. So it is a deep repertoire.
He's coming off a great outing, 7 scoreless last Friday against Tampa Bay, with a season high 8 strikeouts for Early. But he falls behind Dubon 3-1.
So we made note of it yesterday. I'm sure this gets out. It does. Mauricio Dubon, the communication that he has with guys after an at-bat. What do you want to see? That all the little things that they tell each other. There'll be a lot of that going on tonight. Not a single batter, not a single active player has faced Connolly Early. So everybody is seeing him for the first time.
As CJ mentioned, at the end of last year, he burst onto the scene. He got a start in early September in his debut, and he struck out 11 facing the A's, tied a Red Sox record in a debut for a starter, and he's been good since. Dubon out to center. Rafaela has to go quite a ways, but he's able to get there. Racetrack defense here for Chad Tracy and the Boston Red Sox. not as good as the Cubs, right, partner, but still pretty good defensively here.
Yeah, you think about the teams that we just saw. The Cubs right there at the top. The Red Sox, depending on what you look at, but the outs above average actually have them second in baseball. The Braves are currently fourth. Look at errors, and kind of the same thing lines up a little bit further down the line, but it's a pretty good defense. They're not going to beat themselves that way. They're really not going to beat themselves with pitching. It's the lack of offense. Getting picked off in the first inning is not going to help either.
Center field, pretty well struck off the bat at Drake Baldwin. At the track, at the wall. It's out of here. Rafaela had it in his glove, but it's over the fence, and Baldwin gives the Braves the lead.
What we say in our keys, get him early. First pitch here to Drake Baldwin is a four-seam fastball, pretty much middle. And he drilled it, and you're right. What a great shot right there in the glove, and the wall helps out.
Rafaela looked at his glove in disbelief as it popped out on him for a solo homer. Drake Baldwin, we have to call him Solo Drake. I mean, that's 11 of his 12 homers now solo shots. 7 of his homers have come in the first inning this year.
So the guys were talking about it in the pregame show, and I think we've all kind of seen it, but they did a great job of breaking it down. And what we've seen with that approach, right? It does seem like Drake Baldwin's going to take some more chances with nobody on base, right? He'll take some bigger swings. As you take a look at that near home run robbery by Rafaela. That is such a great shot, though, right? He had it. Glove's not long enough. And then how maybe he changes his approach a little bit with runners on base.
Well, Baldwin continues to be absolutely tremendous. That is, as we said, 12 homers, 34 driven in as well.
A piece of humble pie for me, too. Like, this is year 3 doing games. You feel like you get an idea of the sounds off a bat. And I was like, ooh, just missed it. He got it. Glad I was wrong again.
It just kept drifting out there. Did that hit Ozzie? Yes, it did. Got him on that back foot. Early lost control there of that curveball.
Take a look at where this got Ozzie. One hop a little bit, so it's going to take some of it out and look like the top of the foot, which is probably better than catching a toe.
Ozzie takes a slow walk down there and gets a side hug from Antoine Richardson. You can tell he's still feeling it a little bit, even though it hit the dirt before it got his foot. Cleanup man Matt Olson.
So I was trying to figure out, yeah, so it was in April of 24 when Ozzie had the right toe fracture. I love that it's listed as the right great toe.
Great toe instead of the big toe?
That's what it says. Nice.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Right great toe fracture.
The captain of the foot.
But that one, so that was right foot, so a little bit concerning always. But again, it looked like for us at least that it got him on the top of the foot.
I remember this from watching early in a start from earlier this year. It's tough with all the earlies. But you look with the pitch clock, you can't go too slow anymore. But he is a guy who is very patient out there on the mound.
Yeah, and trying to get, I think, hitters thinking a little bit, get them a little bit uncomfortable. Kind of relying on chase, get guys anxious. It's worked for him.
It's a fastball by Matt Olson for his first strikeout. And with it being Armed Forces Day tomorrow and the players all wearing those military caps, might mean a little more to Connolly Early, who pitched his freshman sophomore seasons at West Point for Army before transferring to Virginia to finish his college career.
I asked about that today with the Red Sox guys. Thought, you know, did he change his mind? A lot of times, of course, with the sports stuff, the opportunity to play professionally, and Paul Skeen's probably the greatest example of that here in recent history, going from Air Force and then eventually to LSU because he had a future professionally. But it was more about his coach leaving at Army. He does come from a military family, and it's worked out well for him going to UVA.
He was the Patriot League pitcher of the year his sophomore year at Army before going to UVA. Was all ACC there and then was drafted in the 5th round 2023 by the Red Sox. That misses. 3 balls, no strikes to Riley. Green light, 3 balls, 1 strike. Riley rips it. Takes the 4-seam fastball, lines it to left for a single.
So we got a good look on the swinging strike, even though it was 3-0, as far as what that fastball looked like. And then he gets another one here, and this one catches much more of the plate and pretty straight at 94 miles an hour as Austin Riley smokes it. 108 for him off the bat.
And already a visit from pitching coach Andrew Bailey.
Timing's interesting, right? I mean, not that we ever really worry about burning mound visits. Just get the left-on-left matchup. This guy seems pretty comfortable in what he's doing, and outside of the hit by pitch is throwing plenty of strikes.
CJ mentioned getting to early, and he has had some first inning issues at times. He averages over 19 pitches thrown in the first inning. Rest of the game, it's about 16 per inning. And right now he's at 21, and he's got some work to do as he faces Harris.
So he changes, let's say changes the repertoire, but it's very distinct whether he's facing a lefty or a righty. And so for the lefties, it's the 2-seamers, some 4-seamers, and the sweeper. He really hasn't thrown the changeup or the curveball very often, which is a little bit surprising, right? You think about a left-on-left curve, but only 3% usage to left-handed hitters. So Michael can take that one out, at least until you get to 2 strikes, and really stay focused on both fastballs.
Command has been a little off. He got behind Riley 3-0, and now again here to Harris. That one at the bottom of the zone. You saw interim manager Chad Tracy. They elevated him from AAA Worcester when they let go of Alex Cora at the end of April. 8-8 since he has taken over for the Red Sox. And it looks like his hurler is going to escape the first without any more damage. But Solo Drake gets the party started on a Friday night.
And he certainly did on the first pitch that he saw here on Friday night to dead center, just out of the reach of Rafaela.
Set up in the right field seat.
What is it, CJ?
It's the Friday night showdown even.
brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. And the Bravos with a 1-0 lead after the Baldwin homer. Strider back to work. Feels good to have a Friday night showdown. Truist Park, packed house, beautiful weather. It's what it's all about.
This is going to be an amazing homestand with the Cubs series, the vibe that was here in the middle of the week. It's an automatic. The weekend's going to be great. You just also happen to get the Red Sox and the Red out, and Spencer Strider couldn't line it up any better.
By the way, all medical professionals have weighed in on social media about the great toe, and it is indeed the medical term.
It's not an exaggeration. It's the actual term.
They call it the great toe. I feel like we could do better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, big toe works, but professionally in medical journals, I feel like we could have done better.
Of all the difficult words that exist in the medical community, for toe they came up with great.
Great.
Wiley must have been filling in that day.
What should we call it? Let's just do great, guys. Let's call lunch right now. Contreras was at the plate in the first, and now he's striking out to start the second. He was up there when Duran was picked off, but this time it doesn't work out for Contreras.
Where's that good fastball? This is 98 miles an hour here from Spencer Strider. Contreras might have tipped it there a little bit, but still a good looking heater and a 2-strike count.
A little bit of vintage Spencer Strider right there, that high heat. And getting the K, and now here is Ceddanne Rafaela. Getting back to that pickoff in the first inning, you mentioned the numbers last year, CJ. Strider seems to have figured something out, much improved at that move to first base.
Timing is everything. How long you hold. Paul Bird could certainly tell you about that as well. And then the quick feet and how quick his feet are. Accurate throws. That's a big part of it. You want to stay athletic as a pitcher for that reason.
CJ, I love that you're talking quick feet. One of the ways you set up a base runner is to throw over with slow feet. And he may think, oh, that's all he's got. You do it again. You think, yeah, maybe more. And then you come over with the quick feet. Got him.
So you slow played a little bit, Birdie.
Yeah, you got to sell it. Like, this is all I got. And then you can mix up slow feet with a quick throw or quick feet with a slow pitch over. But when you give them your best, as CJ said, if you hold it a little bit longer, your chances of getting them go up.
2 walks now through 5 hitters. Rafaela to first.
He's setting up another pickoff.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to show it off again. Now Marcelo Meyer, he was one of their big prospects last year, now settled into a big league role here in 2026. Former number 4 pick 5 years ago out of high school in California.
Rafaela might have the red light. He's just 2 for 5 this year, so he's been caught stealing more than he's been successful. The other thing that does so early here for Spencer Strider is it sets the tone. Right, everyone knows kind of the history, and okay, we saw it last year a little bit. Well, the move actually looks really good again this year. We're going to have to be a little bit more careful. You may take that over the course of a guy's career, but it has changed for Spencer Strider.
Gets another strikeout with an elevated fastball. Down goes Meyer.
All strikeouts are not created equal, and this is a fun one for Spencer Strider because after that little slider, it's back-to-back fastballs that Marcelo Meyer just cannot catch up to.
Yeah, those strikeouts to Contreras and Meyer, that feels a bit like 2023 Spencer Strider right there, the guy who K'd 281, setting the Braves franchise record, surpassing John Smoltz, who, by the way, turns 59 today. Happy birthday, Smoltzy. He shares a birthday with George Brett, who's 73 today.
Oh, wow. It's a big Hall of Fame birthday day, huh? Anybody else? I'll take a peek.
A.J. Hinch, Detroit manager, 52 today. And that's where I run out of material.
Well, it's one more thing that I had on 1955 last year, or yesterday, I mean.
Yeah, but that was a good moment. Andrew Monasterio. So Trevor Story usually gets the starts at short. He's been struggling at the plate. They give Monasterio the go tonight.
Tell you what, that was a good bird. You got 7 players with career WARs over 25. There's only 2 Hall of Famers, but Josh Beckett and Justin Morneau's now the Twins analyst, good buddy of ours over at MLB Network Radio. Some good ones.
And if it's your birthday out there and you're watching, I hope it's a great one. Happy birthday. 1-2 pitch from Strider. Runner takes off. Leone fires down, but in there safely, Rafaela.
I think if that gets there all the way, they may have a shot at him. Now, Sandy Leone looks like he may be arguing that there was interference on his throw. Nothing that you can appeal or put on replay. Let's take a peek here. Any contact, or at least in the way at all? No.
So runner in scoring position, and now a full count. The slider downstairs. This batter Monasterio came over with Caleb Durbin in that 6-player trade from Milwaukee in February. Payoff pitch off the end of the bat, right back where it came from. Strider clean through 2.
Fortunately, out-of-state special interests are waging a partisan attack against our non-partisan.
1-0 Braves on to the bottom of the 2nd. Yeah, so Gretchen said to us, I think it's a good point. Maybe Sandy was asking if he could challenge this after throwing, which you can, by the way. They give you until the end of the play, that 2-second window to challenge it.
Yeah, which he wouldn't have wanted to, right? That pitch looked like it was off the plate, and perhaps maybe Walt Weiss trying to clarify timing, and everyone is still working through all of this with the ABS. Make sure that's available to you. Again, they made the right choice not to, but you want to know when it's okay. And that has been inconsistent umpire to umpire.
Yeah, but by the book, on a play like that, it is supposed to be after that play concludes. Then, in theory, Sandy would have 2 seconds to turn to Carapazza and say, I want to challenge it. Seven, 8, 9 here for Atlanta. Ha-Seong Kim at the plate.
I mentioned the command hasn't been excellent, but it hasn't been as bad as kind of some of these misses that we're seeing from early.
And just 1 walk in the 7 scoreless against Tampa Bay last time out. But yeah, he's had quite a few 3-ball counts here early. In fact, 4 of the first 7 plate appearances, he's had a 3-ball count here.
We talk about it often, right? You like seeing the high pitch count from a starter, first game of a series especially. Now, the bullpen here in Boston has been good. Look at bullpen ERA for them. They come in 4th in baseball. The Braves are 3rd.
And they, like the Braves, have an excellent back end between Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman.
Yep, got my eyeballs on a couple of guys down there. His team's not doing too well. We'll see who might be available come trade deadline time.
Kim bounces it to 3rd. Durbin diving stop and gets up and makes the play. He's really good over there at the hot corner.
Yeah, once things kind of fell through for the Boston Red Sox and bringing back Alex Bregman, they trade for Chad Durbin. It wasn't an automatic that he was going to be their everyday third baseman, but I think a lot of people believe that would be the case, and it has been. And you're absolutely right. Defensively, he does a nice job. They acquired a bunch of infielders basically after they couldn't get the big one that they wanted. There was also speculation would they get Brendan Donovan, who eventually went to the Seattle Mariners.
That one gets beyond Monasterio, and Sandy Leon swinging the bat pretty well here in just a couple of starts since being reacquired by the Braves.
Aggressive, I feel like, is what we've seen here from Sandy Leon. Two-seam fastball, jump on it early. Not easy to always get that sinker up in the air. And that was out of the reach of Caleb Durbin. Not Chad. It's not the first time I've done that. Chad Durbin, former teammate. Brave.
That's stuck in your head a little
My
bit.
My built-in excuse.
This guy on the mound, so his name is Connolly. His real first name is Todd. His brothers are Coleman, Cabell, and Callum, speaking of the C trend. So a lot of C's in that family. So he was given the name Todd, which is his father's name, but he has always gone by his middle name, Connolly. Did you pass your name on to?
Nope.
No,
nobody got anything. Megan wasn't having it. That was enough.
Wow.
One CJ in the house was
She's
plenty.
Like, that's
for
it.
her.
We're good.
That's enough.
We've reached our quota. CJ's wife is out of town, and the house is in disarray at the moment. Folks.
Things you learn. A bed actually doesn't make itself.
Yeah.
It's been a mess for 3 days. Just climb right back in. Me and the dog. We're fine.
Close, but that misses to his Okar.
If you put your dishes in the sink, they stay there. They don't just miraculously get cleaned and put away. So
these are valuable life lessons.
Getting there. 28 years later, getting it figured out.
Durbin, another diving stop, and he's able to get Leon at second base. So Durbin flashing some leather here at Truist Park.
A couple of really nice plays going to his left. I thought this was a base hit off the bat. He's in a good position, gets there quickly. That nearly got past him. It's a good recovery to stay aggressive and still get the lead runner.
Yeah, Braves fans might remember him from Milwaukee last year. He was a rookie last year in Milwaukee, finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting behind Drake Baldwin and then Cade Horton of the Chicago Cubs. I made my bed once. It was
overrated, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, that whole thing, like, oh yeah, accomplish one thing before your day even starts. Make your bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'd sometimes put on pants. I'm like, that. We've accomplished something, Brandon. You're moving in the right direction. Already 41 pitches here for Connolly early. And Dubon expands a bit and strikes out to end the second.
Time now for our Defend the Mound feature presented by Comcast Business, and taking a look at the Atlanta Braves starting pitchers to their first 44 games since 2000. This is the second best starters ERA that the Atlanta Braves pitchers have seen. Very, very impressive. You think about some of the rotations over the years going back to 2000. These guys have been getting it done. Second best that we have seen through the first 44.
And if you would have told me that at the end of spring training, given all the injuries, I just wouldn't have thought it was possible.
No.
And
we all panicked.
Yeah, it's not disrespect. You looked at all the injuries and everything going against this club, and to be where they are is really remarkable.
And I really appreciated Alex Anthopoulos being honest in a radio interview, saying, yeah, I heard everybody, and sticking to their guns and what they believed. And you look at some of those options that were out there at the time, and they absolutely got it right, and good for them.
Of course, this guy's oblique injury was one of the early issues. And then he finally made his season debut out in Colorado, and now his third start of the season tonight.
And not that we care that much, but I thought it was interesting when we were in Los Angeles and Blake Snell made that start against the Dodgers. They pulled him off rehab, got him done early because they needed him. He went on the IL today with now loose bodies in his elbow, and everybody has to deal with it. They were trying to rush him back, and now they potentially paid the price for it.
Yeah, when he started against Atlanta, he was supposed to make another rehab start down an A ball, potentially a second, but that was supposed to be where he was. They called him up on his bobblehead night, and it didn't work out too well for the Dodgers.
Narvaez looks like the Hulk with those sleeves.
He does. That's a good call.
Ready to bust out.
The original Hulk. What a great show, by the way. 2-2 here to Narvaez.
He's a good guy. I got to spend about an hour with him. We have Players Week on MLB Network Radio, and players come on. They do a full hour. Guys that are interested in getting a little bit more time, and he did it with us, and he was awesome.
Second season with the Red Sox after he briefly debuted with the Yanks.
And I hope he goes 0 for 3 today with 3 punch outs, but I really like him.
Native of Venezuela, 9th pitch of the at-bat. So that's 3 walks now here, first time through the order for Strider. A message from Zaxby's.
Get Zaxby's fingers and wings in lemon pepper, garlic parm, and Nashville hot. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Well, you've seen Durbin's glove, and now he brings his bat to the plate here. 9th man in the order.
And he has struggled clearly batting 9th. You can see the batting average here at 172 for him. Just a 1 home run so far this year. The on base at 255 is a really low number, and it's been just one piece, but part of the problem they're having here in Boston.
In his career, Strider, the first time through the order, has never walked 4. 3 ties a career high. He falls behind Durbin here 2-1.
I was talking to Lou Merloni next door. It's interesting to see the patience of this lineup. He said when Zach Wheeler pitched against the Red Sox, first inning 6 pitches, second inning 6 pitches, third inning 4 pitches.
He had 16 pitches after 3.
Said it had never been done before.
Holy cow. A 2-2 pop towards Ozzie.
So the point there, a little bit of lack of discipline that you can get. Now again, Strider's falling behind a couple of guys, but something you want to take advantage of.
The Phillies took 2 out of 3 in that series. It was at Fenway. It ended last night, so the Red Sox didn't get to Atlanta last night until the early hours of the morning. Durant grounder. Olsen is there, and they're going to get 2 out of it. You cannot do it any better than that. Great play by Olsen.
So fun to watch Matt Olson play first base, and this is textbook. You're going to watch him feel this as he's in that really good position. The momentum takes him there. It's the step and throw, create a lane, and throw a bullet to Hassan Kim.
Change your glasses. Simple. Let's get you turned around because the Aurora Borealis is that way. Vision Works. See the difference.
Drake Baldwin homer in the first inning. That is the difference right now here on a Friday night. Cold beer, Braves and Red Sox. Kid got a burger. Oh yeah,
burger, fries.
Summer's coming.
Yes,
right.
If you can feel it's so nice out these last few days.
I would say this stretch of weather over the last 4 days here at Truist Park is as good as I remember.
I would agree.
I mean, every night has been right around 68 to 72. No clouds, no humidity, just comfortable. There you go. That's a great game. You get a tomahawk, I get a bat. Just do
impressive
this.
that he can hold a conversation while also fighting his sister.
Oh, that gets by Narvaez. Baldwin is going to reach. You don't see it often. But the leadoff man is aboard.
Can't keep Drake off the base pass tonight. That's the thing of beauty right there. It's a pretty bad chase against a sweeper. He'll admit it. 0-2. Just kept going and going. We don't see Drake usually miss pitches by that much. But how about the reaction? No hesitation. Saw it right away and went. A lot of times guys look around. They don't necessarily take off at full speed, but Drake did.
And Narvaez not happy with himself. He was a Gold Glove finalist last year in the American League at the catcher spot. Ozzie first pitch. Behind the Braves dugout.
That will go down as a wild pitch, even though it was a strike. Well, not a strike. It was swung on.
I would say you could probably find it out. I bet last year we only saw that once, maybe twice.
Yeah, not too often. I don't think I could search that one. I don't know how you would.
That's probably a tough one.
Yeah. Strikeout, wild pitch, or pass ball. But then it would get confusing because you could have that pass ball to somebody advancing and not necessarily the runner or the batter.
Create some software that we can measure that on, please.
Or I could just ask AI. They might be able to get it. They're probably not going to be right. A couple times on the baseball stuff. I asked the other day, because we were having this conversation, how many active big leaguers played for Bobby Cox. She told me none. I was like, well, that's not true.
That's not true.
And in the same sentence, she told me that Freddie Freeman did, but he was retired. I'm like, all right, the world is safe for a little while longer.
Bounce to short. Ozzie hustling and able to beat it out. Remember, Ozzie was kind of battling that toe on the right foot. You can see him wincing a little bit there. I think he's still feeling that from the hit by pitch in the first inning.
Yeah, no doubt. And you hope it doesn't turn into anything worse. I think Monasterio had a chance maybe to attack that a little bit more, but he played it back, and that gave Ozzie enough time to just beat it out.
We'll keep an eye on Ozzie. He's down there, and now Matt Olson. I have gotten to the point where I'm trying to be kind to AI because in the event that they do take over the robots,
good point.
I want them to remember me. So I will say please at the end of my request.
Yep.
Thank you. I don't know if they're going to remember that, but I hope they do. If you're listening, I love you. Off the end of the bat. And Abreu in. Hey, let's talk lobster rolls. Chef Jacko just brought us these beauties. Now, there's a hot dog underneath the lobster here. So this is a unique delicacy.
Yeah, lobster roll with a surprise for sure. I already took one piece off. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of bites of this. It was good.
So when you come to the ballpark tomorrow or Sunday, section 141, and there's a drink called the Cape Codder, and that is all over the ballpark. But the lobster roll is section 141.
What about chowder? They got chowder?
Chowder. I don't think we got that this week.
We can get it. We go there next week. Or that's 2 weeks.
Yeah, 26th through the 28th, the Braves are up there at Fenway. After this next pitch, I'm going to take a bite of this lobster roll. Unless Riley hits a bomb.
Good. The hot dog angle's a little bit different to have it involved in there, but I like it.
I'm afraid, by the way, I offended Chef earlier.
Uh-oh.
I said,
don't mess this up. We got a good thing going right now.
He comes up and he says, really excited, lobster rolls. I'll bring them to you around the third inning. I said, is it real lobster?
Ooh.
And his head dropped. And he said, "Do you think I would bring fake lobster to this ballpark?" I said, "Chef, my sincerest apologies. No, you would not."
As serious as any chef you've ever been around. He's not here hanging out just making standard ballpark fare.
I do love how they add unique things for each team that comes in that's unique to that city. It's pretty cool.
And to have lobster, of course, with the Red Sox here, but during the red out, let's see a chef.
Knows what he's doing. Yeah, check it over here on Ozzie. Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. And Riley is down, swinging and missing at the changeup.
Well, not a lot of action on the field, but certainly here in the booth as we watch BG attack the lobster roll. My goodness, what did that thing do to you?
On to the 4th. Spencer Strider has worked around 3 walks, holding the Red Sox scoreless so far. Now he faces 2, 3, 4 in the order. Yeah, Gretchen likes to make fun of how I attack food. I only know one way.
Don't get cheated.
I was the youngest of 4. It was if I didn't get in there early.
It's a 2-0 fastball down the middle. Let it fly.
1-1 here to Mickey Gasper. It's round 2 of the mustaches between Strider and Gasper. He flew out back in the 1st. Check down, he went.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Gasper play on Team Italy for the WBC? Does that sound familiar? Or did I just make that up? Check. I should just
the
check. The
short answer is I am not certain. The long answer is I'm not certain. He did single through the right side here. That's the first hit of the game for the Red Sox.
I made that up. Maybe he just looks Italian.
No, he did.
Okay.
He joined Team Italy for the knockout stages of the WBC.
It's the Luigi lookalike that got me. I wasn't sure because I think because after they had a catcher that gotten hurt.
Kyle Teal.
Yep, and that's what happened.
Had a hamstring strain, and then they brought in Gasper.
We had it surrounded.
You're all over it.
Sort of. It's like we're around. We're in the neighborhood.
Deep to right, go foul toward the pole, and it does hook right. Thankfully.
This guy had a pretty big WBC, and this is a really good player. He's a plus defender. We know that. Had some big moments. Got some pop in that bat. With Roman Anthony down right now on the IL, this is one of the best offensive pieces they have in Boston.
Yeah, won the championship along with Ronald Acuna Jr. for Team Venezuela in that WBC. Hit a go-ahead homer against Japan in the semis, and then had a homer in the final as well. We just don't want him to homer here at Truist Park. There's that changeup. It's that 4th pitch for Spencer Strider. Works it in there. 1-2 count.
We mentioned coming into this game, the secondaries, he had not allowed a hit on anything but the fastball so far this season. I know it's early, only his 3rd start, but it's always a good sign.
Trying to put away Abreu here. 1-2 upstairs. And for people who didn't hear you earlier, CJ, you attribute that higher curveball usage in Colorado just because he wasn't able to get a good grip on the slider.
He looked really frustrated, right? It just seemed like he couldn't put his slider where he wanted to. And at times he'd even spike the curveball, but it was just the better of the 2 offerings. And for the first time in his career, we saw much more curveball usage than we did slider usage. It corrected itself, once we had gotten to Los Angeles and he was feeling right and it looked really good. But he's broke a few of them out here tonight.
Right on cue. There's the curve. So a full count. And he strikes him out with the curveball.
I didn't think he was going to go heater there in the full count. Again, you got one of their better hitters. It's a left-handed hitter and good execution of the curveball. This gives you an idea, even though he's not using it nearly as much as he did in Colorado, the confidence level that Spencer Strider has in this pitch.
So 3 strikeouts for 99 tonight. Now the cleanup man Contreras. Of course, his brother William was with the Braves and part of that 21 title team. Close. Almost got another one. Picked off Duran in the first.
Seems like it's a new little point of pride here for Spencer Strider, right? For the longest time, it's like, I'll just strike everybody out. Well, if you get on, I might pick you off now.
You put that fastball in that location, Contreras cannot really do anything with it.
No, he can't. And again, going back to that LA game, the command was like that pretty consistently. Both sides of the plate. Again, what he did to Shohei, the way that he worked him in, just painting that fastball inside and then off when he needed it.
One ball, 2 strikes. Runner takes off. Leon's throw beat him, and the tag is applied, and Gasper is out number 2.
Good pitch to handle here for Sandy Leon, and it also goes back to Spencer Strider in the move and keeping guys close, right? So you don't necessarily get the same big jump when a guy shows you that he could pick you off. Throw gets there all the way, and they got him easily.
Almost looked like he stopped there for a second, and Gasper's not the fastest. I'm a little surprised there.
I don't know if he thought there was going to be action there. I mean, it's a 2-strike count, certainly not going to be a hit and run.
And now a bouncer to Riley, and just like that, the top of the 4th is in the books.
The Atlanta Braves leading the Boston Red Sox by a score of 1-0 here as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's take a look at tonight's Engineered to Win, presented by Range Rover Sport. And the Braves certainly have been engineered to win so far this season. We showed you the first 44 games and how good the pitching has been since 2000. How about the hitting? 5.4 runs per game. That is 3rd best. And again, you start thinking about some of the great offenses that have been here over the years. Well, from a runs per game standpoint, this has been one of the best, 3rd best in 27 years.
And those 5.4 runs per game, best in Major League Baseball right now. Braves 61 homers, now 62 after the Baldwin homer earlier. 2nd most in baseball behind the Yankees. A lot of numbers to like for the 30-14 Atlanta Braves. Connolly early, making his 13th major league start here. The 24-year-old working into the 4th inning with his team down 1-0.
And doesn't throw it too often, but Michael got that 4-seam fastball there, and he'd love another shot at it. I don't think he's going to get one, though.
He got another one.
And I say that because, one, he the way he breaks up the fastballs, he seems to like throwing the two-seamer more to lefties. The lefties will get the four-seamer, but it's double usage, and he is not allowed to hit against that four-seam fastball to a lefty yet this year.
This one is in play. Michael gives it a ride. Right center. See you later. Money Mike. Solo shot. 2-0.
Really interesting the way that whole thing went down, right? 3 sweepers to start that plate appearance, and then he went to a couple of four-seamers and then a sinker, and this is not where you throw a sinker. Top of the zone, even above it a little bit. And even though it was a different style of fastball, it's still 3 straight.
Kim follows it up with a bounce out to second, but let's admire that Harris homer.
Take a look at what we're talking about. They want this ball down maybe below the zone. Instead, it's up above at 87 miles an hour. That might have been a misread.
Yeah,
because his fastball sits 94, 95. That was this a slider that spun or what that was.
whatever it was, it ended up beyond the outfield wall for Michael's 8th homer of the season, his 2nd this year off of a lefty. So there's your homer guys tonight, Baldwin and Michael Harris, solo shots. Now that was outside, but Sandy's not going to challenge. Sandy, 5 seasons with the Red Sox from 2015 to 2019 and won that 2018 World Series alongside Chris Sale, but against his former team he strikes out here in the 4th. There's nobody left from that 2018 team now.
Yeah, I believe it.
With Alex Cora and those other coaches gone, Devers was the last piece. They traded him away last year, so nobody remaining in Boston.
Yeah, a lot of turnover, and obviously it has not been a really good season for them, and probably more changes coming. I don't know if they get necessarily things turned around where they stay in contention, so it could be a busy team come deadline time. And they have everybody listed as interim, and I get why you do it, but it's your manager and 6 coaches, if you look at their website, that are listed as interim first base coach, interim third base coach, interim hitting coach. It's kind of an uneasy feeling with this much time left in the season.
And a little unconventional to bring your AAA manager up. You don't see that a lot. It's usually bench coach or somebody's elevated. But for Chad Tracy, 40 years old, this is his first big league job. He had not been a coach in the majors in any spot, let alone manager.
Good dad to lean on, though, right?
Yes.
From Tracy.
That is hit it out of the glove of Durbin, and it's going to go all the way into the well. So a break for Azócar. He's going to get to second here.
And we're just saying all these nice things about Durbin and what a great defender he is. And it's one thing if you don't make the play. It's another, though, to boot it into the well. Let's see what happened here as he kind of goes to his backhand. Took a little bit of a high hop, but he was there. Just nicked his glove and then hit his foot.
So they'll score at a base hit and then an error.
Oh, Santa Claus didn't try to field that. I don't know. Well, he's on it.
He's on vacation. He's got a few months before he goes back to work.
Oh, that's a bad feeling.
Durbin can't believe it.
Somebody's getting coal in their stocking this year, Mr. Durbin.
Perfect Santa Claus. Or do you give him a candy cane because you feel bad for him? No?
That's usually how Santa operates,
yeah,
right?
Nice guy. So 2 down, runner in scoring position for Dubon. But CJ mentioning Jim Tracy, Chad's father, 11 years as a big league manager. So it's in the family bloodline, but first time that Chad has had this opportunity.
It was a good one. I got to spend a spring training with Jim Tracy with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and just highly respectable, good baseball man. Never got to play for him in the big leagues, but I really enjoyed my time with him.
And he actually preceded Walt Weiss in Colorado after Jim Tracy was let go after the 2012 season. That's when Walt Weiss was hired from 2013 through 2016 there with the Rockies. Clip the corner. Ooh, Dubon's going to challenge. I think he might lose this one.
Batter is challenging the call of strike.
Get a little thrown off when a guy drops the ball like that, too. I do like watching Mauricio. He's got some great reactions.
Call is confirmed. Atlanta has 1 challenge remaining.
That ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Yeah, Dubon's just fun all the way around. Facial expressions, how he carries himself, how he treats people. High bouncer. Zokar trying to throw off the shortstop on a stereo. It does not work. But Michael Harris doubles the lead.
It was a mystery pitch. Nobody knows what it was, but it was up in the zone, and Michael punishes this baseball. Second home run of the night for the Atlanta Braves, and lead it 2-0.
What a beautiful shot. Kennesaw Mountain there in the background. And Strider back on the bump here in the 5th.
Is he the first commissioner, Kennesaw Landis? First MLB commissioner, I think.
Won't have to go to AI.
Right.
Go to the bots.
I don't want to keep doing that to you. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize. Oh, Sandy's going to challenge.
Atlanta catcher is challenging the ball call.
This one's close. Yes, it is, by the way, or was. There's a strike.
Call is confirmed. Strike.
So 8 Men Out, one of my favorite baseball movies, and where they talk about.
Excuse me, call's overturned.
Correction from Vic Carapazza.
I like that he's got the little Italian flag on his belt there, by the way. Chicken parm after the game. But in 8 Men Out, right, where they depict that whole story of him becoming the first commissioner of baseball because of the Black Sox, right? That was kind of the whole thing, and he said he was only doing it if he had autonomy. He wasn't going to be a puppet for the owners. Like, am I really your commissioner or am I not? And then he ended up banning all of them.
And he served as commissioner from 1921 until his death at 44. Different game back then.
Yeah. I think we had this conversation, but that movie was shot in Indianapolis.
Toward the left field corner, and it stays fair and bounces up and over the short wall. So Rafaela will get 2 bases here to begin the 5th.
Well, the curveball from Spencer Strider, and that's the first time that he's allowed a hit on an off-speed pitch so far this year, and one he'd like to have back. You can see that come out of the hand. It goes up first, stays up in the zone, and maybe even above it. We were just hoping he was going to hook it foul, but plenty of room.
First extra base hit of the series for the Red Sox, their 2nd hit overall. And now here's Meyer out in front. Tonight is meeting 101 all time between the Braves and the Red Sox since the advent of interleague play back in '97. Red Sox holding the edge 53-47 over Atlanta. And with this the traditional rivalry, this is rivalry weekend across Major League Baseball. These are the 2 teams in interleague play that meet 2 times. So the Braves, as we said, will go up to Fenway for 3 at the end of this month.
A tradition like no other. Red Sox Braves. And the rivalry is real. Bean eaters.
Big league pop towards Riley, right there by the bag. Seventh batter in the order, Monasterio. Slider right on cue. Zaxby's Who's Got the Sauce talking about the slider of Strider.
Yeah, we're looking at basically the put away percentage and doing it on the slider, and Spencer Strider has done it at a higher percentage than anybody in baseball, with at least 1,000 of those thrown.
Play at third. Yes, they got him. That's 2 tonight for Sandy Leon, as he gets Rafaela trying to slide into third.
That's just bad baseball and a bad decision here for a team that has struggled to score runs. You're already in scoring position. You run pretty well, does Rafaela. He thought he had this opportunity. You just have got to make sure. It's a nice job by Austin Riley, too, to come off the bag, and a sliding tag on his part.
Well, Red Sox fans saw him do that for 5 years in a Boston uniform, and now Sandy getting his former team a couple of times tonight. And now Strider is 1 pitch away from getting out of the top of the 5th. And it looks like it's going to happen on the slider that is lifted to Dubon. We are halfway home on a Friday night at Truist Park.
In LA. I was here today to watch Ronald hit balls out of sight, but my favorite play was a play in right field where he was running full speed in foul territory, caught the ball, and jumped up on the side of the padded wall. It was kind of Bo Jackson-esque. Now, I'm not saying we need Ronald or have to have him, but I would love to add to this lineup an MVP potential candidate, guys.
Well, I think especially on nights like tonight, too. You know, the Braves can get a little left-handed heavy, and the idea of that right-handed hitting outfielder, especially one that brings to the table what Ronald Acuna Jr. does, would be really nice to have. We just feel like we keep being in these situations where the team actually only is going to get better.
Is this another one for Drake Baldwin? At the wall, this one stays in the yard. So Rafaela almost robbed him in center in the first, but this one stays close enough that Rafaela can field it cleanly.
Remembering that last at bat when he chased that sweeper way out of the zone. This time he got one that he could handle and just missed it.
Yeah, 396 feet. He needed about 4 or 5 more. Ronald Acuna Jr. again, they're keeping a close eye on him. There's no true timetable on his return. Technically, he was eligible. Deep to left here for Ozzie. Is it going to stay fair? It does not.
Oh,
that was close.
At least they got the baseball this time, right? We've had some foul balls go up in that area that have not ended particularly well for fans that had a chance to catch them. He's selling it like he sold it. Where's the ball? You got to show it.
1-2 now to Ozzie. But Acuna was eligible Wednesday to come off the IL. Obviously, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at the end of this homestand. They're going to kind of check back with him down in Miami, see where he's at. Durbin sidearm throw to get Albies. Let's go to our Yellowwood Bringing the Lumber feature. Guys getting hits off of left-handed starters. extra base hits, and Matt Olson 13 of them.
It's crazy, right? I mean, what he's done this year, obviously he's been on fire, but the damage against lefties, and look at some of these other names that are in there with Ozzie, Drake Baldwin. And so, yeah, this lineup can absolutely handle lefties, has put up good numbers against lefties. I just think about adding Ronald to it and how much better it actually gets, which is hard to imagine because they've been so good.
A 30-14 best record in baseball, and Acuna's been on the IL the last week. And even when he was playing, he wasn't at his full capacity offensively. So you think about if he gets going, how scary this lineup can be. It already is. It can get even scarier.
Just noticed now that it's gotten a little bit darker here for Connolly early. Has he got the Usain Bolt cleats on, like he's ready to sprint? No, where's he going?
Boston is challenging the ball call.
He thinks he got a strike. Narvaez is going to challenge.
Oh, come on.
Call's overturned for a strike.
Barely, but that ends the fifth. 1, 2, 3 for Connolly early in this frame. Is shutting out the Red Sox, and that takes us to our Toyota Trends feature. The Braves have allowed 3 or less runs in the last 8 games, and the Red Sox offense has been sputtering.
You love seeing both of those trends coming into this series, right? We know this team has pitched well really all season long, but this is an offense that has struggled and comes limping in to this one. You never want to look too far ahead, but you love the way that it lines up on paper.
8-9-1 in the order, starting with Narvaez. The longest streak in Braves history, by the way, for allowing 3 runs or less consecutive games is 12. That happened in the 2002 season.
Well,
there goes the bat.
Start thinking about the opponents again. You look past no one, but 4 to go to tie, so you have to get through this series. Then you got the Marlins, maybe. It's feasible.
On pace tonight.
And what makes it probably most impressive is how it started. Dodgers Cubs.
Braves taking 2 out of 3 from both of those ball clubs, and now starting a 3-game series against the Red Sox. Soft little line drive that is fair. Narvaez is going to head for second. And for the second straight inning, it's a leadoff double for Boston.
That's 14 fastballs well located. He got it in, but what you're seeing there from Narvaez is just fighting it off. Not a lot of exit velocity to it, but he hit it in a good spot.
Third hit tonight for the Red Sox, and here is Caleb Durbin. Could get Durbin and Ozzie to do a back-to-back. Durbin listed at 5'6", Ozzie listed at 5'7".
Ooh.
I think Ozzie's got it by the skin of his spikes.
It does seem kind of standard fare for shorter statured big leaguers that you go high pants. If it helps with the way the look.
Yeah,
I
the
guess.
optics of it.
I'm trying to think of. The only one I could think of off the top of my head of short players would be Dustin Pedroia. I think he wore the pants all the way down.
Great Red Sox player. Shortest player in big league history, the great Eddie Goodell.
That's right. What was he, 4-something?
3'7".
Yeah.
65 pounds.
Did he go socks up?
I don't know. That was in 1951. He had 1 plate appearance all time. He walked on 4 pitches and was taken out of the game.
What was the uniform number again? Was it half?
1/8.
1/8.
That was a publicity stunt by Bill Veeck, who was the owner of the St. Louis Browns at the time in 1951. And my favorite part in reading about that was, and I did not know this part of the story, Eddie Goodell popped out of a papier-mâché birthday cake in between games 1 and 2 of a doubleheader to make his debut.
No doubt an idol of Ted Turner's, right? And thinking about what he did with the Channel 17. And you see what? That's why you have to have a commissioner in baseball and got to keep some guys in line once in a while, because they'll try just about anything.
So the next day after they pulled that stunt with Eddie Goodell, after he walked, by the way, they pulled him from the game because they were going to use a pinch runner. But the American League president at the time was Will Harridge, and he voided Goodell's contract and said this is a mockery of the game and all future player contracts have to be ratified by the commissioner. And so you didn't see stunts like that anymore. The 5-6 Durbin is down on strikes.
There's that finished slider that we were talking about with Spencer Strider here a couple of minutes ago. And even in this count here, he's got a full count. It's not just a chase pitch for Spencer Strider. He can throw that in the zone, in a good part of the zone, and still get swing and miss.
And Walt Weiss with Strider at 84 pitches with 1 out here in the 6th is going to go to Dylan Lee in a 2-0 ball game. Strider 5 1/3 with 4 strikeouts tonight.
Yeah, he was excellent. Fastball up at the top of the zone, played very well. Slider and curveball were also very good today. Did a great job, not just fielding his position, but the pickoff that we saw as well. Held runners tight. A couple of caught stealing behind him, and of course the defense also showing up. So overall, good night for Spencer Strider, and it's been back-to-back solid outings from him.
84 pitches. Lee warming, and I thought that Walt Weiss might let Strider go and try to get through the 6th, bring in Lee in the 7th, but Lee is brought on here to face Duran.
Well, clear that we have seen from Walt, right? He does not hesitate. When you sense that moment, it is the tying run here in the 6th inning, so you don't want to take any unnecessary chances. And what a luxury it is to bring in Dylan Lee into a spot like this in the 6th inning with that strikeout rate there of 35%.
It's another swing and a miss on the slider. 1 and 2 here to Duran. Strider responsible for the runner at second, Narvaez. And Lee gets the strikeout. They know the slider is coming, and it simply does not matter.
It doesn't. I mean, it's good to lefties and to righties, but really devastating to these left-handed hitters. And again, it's such a luxury. I mentioned that number, and might not mean a ton to you when you say, okay, 35.2% for the strikeout rate. It is 3rd best among all relievers with at least 20 games pitched this year. That's reserved for like your Mason Millers of the world, right? Your big strikeout numbers that are pitching in the 9th inning. The Braves get to do that in the 6th.
This back end between Lee, Suarez, Iglesias. What a potent 3 for the Atlanta Braves. And Lee quickly gets Gasper in an 0-2 hole with a couple of changeups.
And those look good, and doesn't look like a very comfortable swing at all for Gasper against it. We may see a 3rd one out of the zone.
He did throw another one just right there at the bottom of the zone. Gasper called up last week when Roman Anthony went on the IL with a wrist injury. He grounds it through the left side. Now Narvaez does not have great speed. He's coming home. And he got the hand in. 2-1. He's feeling a little pain after that slide.
And a good attempt from Dubon out left field. He's got a good arm. We've seen him in the upper 90s from the outfield so far Now the mistake here for Dylan Lee is location. Right before he threw that pitch, Sandy Leon gave him the up, up, up kind of manual sign with his hand. And Dylan Lee unfortunately did not get it all the way up there where he wanted it. Good throw from Devon.
Now the pain was two things. He face planted. He also got that right-handed wrist stuck. But hopefully Narvaez is okay. That is the first inherited runner that Dylan Lee has allowed to score this season. And then he gets a pop up on the infield off the bat of Abreu. Riley says, Dylan, get out of here. And he takes it for the third out.
Reaction. Such was the case with Austin Riley, according to Braves hitting coach Tim Hyers, who said this front shoulder was starting down. So when he went through his swing, he would have to raise it up, which is really hard to get on plane when you have your front shoulder in motion moving around. What's the secret? He's starting with it more level and higher up, so when he goes to swing, he can stay on path. Guys.
So important, right? Too much movement. By the way, you got anything in a full size down there, Birdie? He's working for Avis with that jacket on.
I am trying out tomorrow for a couple game shows. Talking about me being a host. I need that long microphone you guys had up there.
I know we wanted to have Birdie use it, but it wouldn't work remotely down there. So
I was going to look just like Bob Barker.
Birdie, Vegas odds of Sir Isaac Newton making tonight's broadcast 1 in a million.
Yeah, I know.
Well
you can't
done.
get that on other broadcasts,
No.
BG. No.
Routine fly to left. Of all of us wearing those red blazers tonight, by the way, I think Birdie wins the award.
I agree. I do not agree. I agree with that part. I do not agree with the person that said he also most looks like Captain Kangaroo. I will not allow that kind of talk.
That was really good.
About Paul Bird.
I wasn't ready for that. That was really good.
No, not on my broadcast.
I need a bunch of ping pong balls dropping down here. And the younger kids have no idea what we're talking about, but we're just going to go with it.
Oh. I like the Avis. Do you have anything in a full size? Harris homer last time up, and right now that's the difference in the ball game.
You know how to take the reservation.
Just don't know how to hold the reservation.
Anybody could take them.
The bullpen and Weissert replacing Connolly early. So early lasted the 5 innings. Had quite a few 3-ball counts, even though his command walk-wise was good. But the Braves get a couple of solo homers off of him. Now you get Weissert, who starts with that closed position before he pitches. And he gets a couple of flies to left here to start the bottom of the 6th.
Which does give him a little bit of a disadvantage against lefties. They come in this season 8 for 17. It's good for a .471 batting average. He's given up 4 homers. 3 of them actually, though, have come off the bat of right-handed hitters. And you talk about some odd splits. Like, it's one thing to see that high batting average. He's striking out righties at a 32% clip. Pretty high, right? We just talked about Dylan Lee. Lefties, 5%. I don't think I've ever seen a contrast that big from a reliever or any pitcher.
Well, he's got a righty here in Ha-Seong Kim. A couple of groundouts tonight for Kim, 0 for 2. Third year with Boston after 2 seasons with the Yankees for Greg Weissert. He's looking to set down the Braves in order here in the 6th. And you can hear when Weissert releases those pitches. Kinley is up for Atlanta.
He's been pretty aggressive with the fastball. He started Ha-Seong Kim with the sweeper. That's probably been his best pitch this year. It's been the best strikeout pitch, that's for sure.
Bouncer back to the mound. Kim 3 groundouts tonight, on our way to the 7th. Is as sensational as it gets.
I have been all over Truist, and I can attest that this is one of the best places to be. The Xfinity Club. Get on that wait list. Members are guaranteed postseason tickets. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I like this team. They have Mr. B's Bourbon Bar, Daiseki Sushi Station. They also have the Grab and Go Market, which has tremendous ballpark food, a little bit of everything for everyone. Guys, Braves.com/premium. I'm really excited. Get up there.
You had us at Bourbon, Birdie.
Yeah.
Well, remember last year Birdie went up there, right? And didn't he come and he joined us with some ice cream? Not tonight because we've already eaten too much, but yeah.
I risked physical harm climbing that ladder.
That's
getting some Pappy off the top shelf. For those that don't know Mr. B or never had a chance to meet him, Bill Bartholomew, he is responsible for bringing the team to Atlanta. A great guy, great ambassador, an amazing man who has left us, but like Bobby Cox, just changed the organization.
Kinley into the game. Contreras, little looper out to left center. Dubon in to take it.
We know Tyler Kinley's been really good since he's put on that Braves uniform, but especially this season in this ballpark. 2.25 ERA in his 9 games so far at home. All 3 home runs that he has allowed have been on the road.
3 pitches to retire Contreras. Now Rafaela. Birdie talking about the Braves moving here in the 60s, but of course it all started in Boston and then to Milwaukee in 1953. But the Braves were in Boston from 1871 until 1953.
By the way, I thought that was a fake challenge there from Rafaela because that first pitch slider looked like it was a ball, and he went hand to his helmet, but he just fixed his helmet. He didn't tap it. I'm waiting for that first controversy to happen. Somebody got charged with one the other. It was yesterday or 2 days ago. Never challenged, never tapped, only touched their helmet, and it went to a challenge.
Did they try to argue?
They tried to argue
challenging
it, and didn't. Too bad.
Yeah, that's tough. Because if you're just trying to adjust your helmet, you're innocent, but probably not going to win that argument with a home plate umpire. The same thing right there, right?
Yeah. So it's just a habit.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful of that, and that's why I don't know, the combination of the helmet and the verbal maybe at the same time.
That goes just foul. So CJ, when the Braves were in Boston all those years, they had 7 different nicknames. There were 2 of them that I did not know.
Oh, so I definitely don't know them. 7 while they were in Boston?
Yeah. From 1871 until 1953.
We know, Braves we know.
Yep.
I'm assuming there's maybe a couple of different, like Red Stockings.
That's the first one.
Okay. That's the first one ever. All right. Was there any more red ones in there?
Red Caps.
Would not have gotten that one.
And then the Bean Eaters, and then there's 2 that I had never heard of.
The Whales.
Doves.
Oh, okay. You know what? I have heard that. So my scorecard originally had all the names on it my first year. I did not put it back on this year's scorecard. I should know it because I've definitely written it down, but I don't.
After the Doves, it was the Rustlers, then the Bees, then the Braves.
They finally got it right. It took a little while. The Bees. It's like a bad travel ball team. The Buford Bees.
The Buford Bees, baby. Hey, the stretch is coming up. Georgia Natural Gas. You'll see those beautiful red jackets. Nick and Peter are wearing them in the Battery. Doves just, Dove is a peace offering. I don't know that you can call your team the Doves. Another one in the air. No room, though, at the end for Matt Olson. Marcelo Meyer is 0 for 2. But the other piece of that history that people might not realize is that the Braves were in Boston well before what is now the Red Sox. That franchise didn't get there until 1901. And they were named the Boston Americans from 01 to 07, then become the Red Sox in 08, and obviously have been that ever since. And this ball game is going to be tied at 2. A slider in there that Meyer hammers. And we are all even in the 7th.
Well, all 4 home runs now hit against Tyler Kinley have come off the bats of left-handed hitters, and not the best version of his slider. We know how good that pitch has been. That one, though, staying in the middle of the plate with just a little bit of movement. You can certainly see the frustration on his face.
Kinley, since coming over last year from Colorado, had been on such a good run, but run into a little trouble here over the last month or so. And Monasterio puts a charge into one. Bouncing over the wall. So a double. And Kinley feeling it a little bit out there right now.
And he goes to the curveball now here instead of the slider. Again, it's just going to be about location. Both of these breaking balls, upper half of the strike zone, gives you a chance. Talk about seeing it a lot better, and where that one ended up.
And with the go-ahead run at second, Walt Weiss is going to dip back into the pen and call in number 75, Robert Suarez.
Put it on my tab. I'll show myself out.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Rooms to Go. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale going on now. By Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. And by Racetrack. Whatever gets you going. All right, so the Braves a couple of solo homers to grab a 2-0 lead, but now the Red Sox 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th to tie it, and Suarez put into a key spot here.
And some gaudy numbers with that 0.50 ERA. You can see the domination he's had against lefties so far this season. He's taken on 5 inherited runners. He gets one here tonight. Only one of those have scored so far.
A walk and a double for Narvaez, the hitter. Go ahead run at second. 96 outside, 1-0.
So the Braves bullpen pretty good shape tonight. Obviously, we've already seen Dylan Lee and Tyler Kinley, but it was only Ronaldo Lopez and Aaron Bummer who threw yesterday. So everyone else has had at least a full day's rest. Some a couple more than that.
2 balls, 1 strike. Kinley giving up the homer to Meyer, then that double by Monasterio. So Walt Weiss going to Robert Suarez a little earlier than normal here. Got him to swing at that changeup.
I think the hope here for Walt is that Suarez finishes this one off, gives you the 8th, and somewhere in there the Braves score a run, whether it be in the bottom of the 7th or at the bottom of the 8th, and then hand it over to Iggy.
Deuces all over the board. 2-2 game, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In on the hands.
He's got one of those rare changeups where you can throw it 2, 3, 4 times in a row because of how good it is.
And he has thrown it the last 3 pitches here to Carlos Narvaez. Suarez got it. Gas 99, top shelf to end the top of the 7th. All tied as we go to the stretch.
Welcome to the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Service, savings, sustainability. It's that simple.
Welcome to the stretch, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Peter Moylan and Nick Green here with you, Peter. Let's talk some Spencer Strider. 3rd start of the year. Dominated LA last time out. 6 shutout there. Looked really good. Tonight, another good start. What'd you think?
I thought it was brilliant to build off what he did last time out. It was a little shaky early on, if I'm going to be honest, but the improvements that he made after landing a 2nd pitch slider to Gasper, it just felt like it locked him in. And when you look down, he faced 1 over the minimum through 5 innings. I thought he threw some changeups in big situations, got some huge defense behind him. He controlled the running game, both with his pickoffs, the inside moves to second base, and the fact that he had the help of Sandy Leon behind the plate, throwing out a couple of runners as well. That's been obviously something we've talked about a lot out here, is his ability to hold the runners, and now he's done it perfectly.
Another encouraging start for Spencer Strider. Hopefully the Braves can come back in this one and get the W. Let's get you back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
When it comes to natural gas in Georgia, G&G leads the league. We keep it simple with great rates that save you money. We even make it easy to reduce your carbon footprint with greener life. Sign up in minutes at gng.com. It's that simple.
You might be looking at our future surgeons presented by Kaiser Permanente. Friday night, kiddos are out at the ballpark. Game 1, Braves and Red Sox. Boston has come back to tie it at 2.
I have to start reconsidering my exercise regime. Cracker Jack toss is the most exercise I'm getting right. I'm like out of breath from throwing Cracker Jack. Not good. Not ideal.
You got up and stretched before.
Well, I was sitting a little bit too long. It's part of it.
Weissert still pitching for Boston. 8-9-1 for Atlanta. Dom Smith is going to pinch hit here for Sandy Leon.
That makes sense. We talked about the splits and what we've seen from Weissert so far this year, and it's a great left-handed bat that you get in Dom Smith.
So Sandy Leon done tonight, 1 for 2, and now let's see if Smith can get on board here to start the home half of the 7th. First pitch, slow roller to short.
I wondered if we were going to get that kind of same combo in what we saw was the last night's ball game, right? When Dom Smith and then Yaz, and that seems to be the case.
Yep, Yaz will hit for Azokar, and then Yaz will take over in right field. And that's going to prompt Andrew Bailey, 3rd-year pitching coach, to go out and talk. Or no, that's Chad Tracy. They're going to go and go ahead and make the move here. So Weissert is done. We'll tell you about the change when we get back. The Friday Night Showdown. And it feels like it. This crowd is into it with that pitching change. It's all brought to you tonight by Kaiser Permanente. Giovanni Moran, the lefty, on here to face Yastrzemski.
And Moran's not an overly hard thrower. The fastball sits at 92, but it is a deep repertoire, and he has handled lefties extremely well. They are just 3 for 30 against him, and even 100 batting average.
He has allowed runs in 7 of his 13 appearances this season. Let's see if the Braves can make it 8 of 14. He has had a great series against the Cubs. Now he'll try to carry it over against Boston.
That pitch looks like a slider, but you can see it showing up as a cutter. It's a big version of a cutter, especially to the lefties. It's got slider feel.
Moran had parts of 3 seasons with the Twins and then was traded to Minnesota before the 25 season. In between there, he had Tommy John surgery and missed a year and a half. He lands that sweeper and he strikes out Yastrzemski. Let's talk about Mauricio Dubon as he comes to the plate as our Georgia Natural Gas Greener Life impact player. So CJ, you think about utility guys in the National League, and this is pretty impressive for Dubon.
And for us, looking at players that have played at least 4 different defensive positions, he is leading in OPS. He's also doing a very nice job defensively with those 4 outs above average.
Earlier this year at shortstop, we saw him play terrific in center field on the West Coast swing, and excellent out in left field as well, where he is tonight. On the ground to Durbin. And the Braves go in order in the 7th. Still 2-2. Suarez here. Suarez falling behind 2-0.
So he has been pretty good as a pinch hitter when he's gotten the opportunity. To see Yaz staying in right field. 7 for 24 here in the big leagues. That's good for a .292 batting average.
And remember, with Sandy Leon being pinch hit for, Drake Baldwin the new battery. So from 3-0 to 3-2, that is painted on the inside corner.
A couple arm side cuts that we've seen, though, right? I think he doesn't necessarily want that pitch. It was a great one. There's been a couple tonight that have cut on Robert Suarez.
He struck out Narvaez to end the 7th. 99 fouled off by Yoshida here in the 8th. Broken bat. He's going to have to hustle. Suarez gets over there because Olsen saying that was my bad, a little out of position, but they got it done.
You never assume anything when you're on the mound as a pitcher. Obviously, you know you have a great first baseman in Matt Olson, but the way that they had Yoshida play, to your point, you always got to go over there and cover, and you're going to watch Matt Olson take a couple of steps in and realize it really wasn't one he should have gone for, but luckily Suarez took care of business on the other end.
All smiles.
I know I've told you this before. That's my least favorite PFP drill. 4-1.
Tough one, right?
That throw wasn't bad, a little bit softer, but when they have those guys play a little bit deeper, maybe there's some version of a shift and everyone's over and you're taking an overhand throw from a second baseman while you're running and trying to get over there as fast as you can. And if you run like me, you're on your heels and the ball's just going up and down, up and down. You're hoping it's going to end up in your glove and not in your face.
Another grounder. How about Ozzie? How about Ozzie? Full extension.
Now, if that foot is bothering him, we would never know it based on this play from Ozzie Albies as he goes ranging to his left. Does a great job getting behind and around that baseball, and he goes with a long hop to make it a little bit easier for Matt Olson. I'm not sure Duran even touched the bag. It doesn't matter. That one beat him.
That is our Car Shield defensive play of the game, and it is a beaut.
Both teams tonight playing some really good defense. We knew that coming in. A couple of the best in baseball.
So a couple of grounders to Ozzie, and now Gasper with 2 down.
I think that body language, kind of the conversation that Ozzie and Matt were having right there, could have been based on a potential push bunt. It's a conversation that you will have sometimes. You also make sure you have it with your pitcher as well. And who's going to go for it. If it's, hey, I'm going to get there and you go for it wherever side it is or in what direction.
See if Suarez can put away Gasper here. Send this thing to the bottom of the 8th, where the Braves will have Baldwin, Albies, and Olsen due up. One, two.
I don't think we saw anybody warming up, right? For Moran going to stay out there for the Boston Red Sox. I guess it makes some sense, but it does work in Ozzy's favor having the lefty.
Braves have entered the 8th inning 3 times this year with the game tied. They won all 3, including that 4-1 win over the Cubs on Wednesday when they got 3 in the bottom of the 8th. So hoping for more of the same tonight. It's the inning of Ozzy Albies, and he is due up second in the bottom of the 8th.
A little bit more aggressive from Drake Baldwin. Cutter down the middle, and for Moran, he's just lucky that there wasn't a little bit more lift on this ball because it was hit 111 miles an hour off the bat of Drake Baldwin.
So there is your potential go-ahead run, and now you get Ozzy Albies from the right side after he made all 3 plays in the top of the 8th. The change at third base because they pinch hit for Durbin. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is now out there for Boston.
And a good defender in his own right. He's got a Gold Glove under his belt.
Ozzy hit by the pitch on the back foot back in the first inning, the right foot. We were wondering if it was causing him some pain because it looked like he was wincing a little bit, but he has stayed in there and played really good defense. Two and one.
It's an interesting target there from Narvaez. He was up and away all the way in the corner. That ball missed down. It's an exaggerated kind of target that he was giving Moran. And he's going to talk about it now. I was wondering if he saw something there, right? Sometimes you know if a guy is missing a spot. I also would wonder, was he going to some kind of breaking ball and giving him a starting point? Instead, every pitcher is different. Some like to look at the finishing point, others the starting point of a pitch. But whatever it was, he didn't like what he saw.
A red out tonight at Truist. Braves wearing the red jerseys, the red pom-poms handed out to the 40,000. And the Braves trying to take the lead in the 8th. 2-1 to Ozzy. Ozzy lifts it out to left center. Shy of the track. Duran is there. There is nobody throwing in Boston's bullpen. Aroldis Chapman, the closer, has been stretching a little bit, but there's no live action. It's all about Giovanni Moran. Olsen 0 for 3 tonight. Pair of strikeouts. Braves have 1 left. Matt's not going to use it.
not afraid to do it. You can see that changeup. Matt Olson has faced Moran one other time. The left-on-left changeup. He saw it a couple of times in that at-bat. And he ultimately ended up striking out. But it was a couple of years ago, back in 2023. And he saw 3 changeups in that plate appearance.
Ooh. 430 feet, but in the wrong direction.
He's lucky he actually missed as bad as he did. He missed in, trying to go away. If he missed middle, it's probably a home run.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Riley on deck here for Atlanta with 1 out of the bottom of the 8th. Braves got homers in the 1st and 4th. Boston with a run in the 6th and the 7th to tie. Payoff pitch. He got him. Change up. Pulled the string.
Takes some confidence to do this left on left inside the strike zone. It's one thing to go down, maybe below, away. That caught a pretty big part of the zone, and I'm really surprised they did not have somebody a righty up right now for Austin Riley.
Can Riley take advantage against the lefty?
Part of that might be, so Garrett Whitlock is kind of the go-to righty. He has pitched in back-to-back games coming into this one. So has Justin Slayton. So a couple of their kind of go-to right-handers very likely down, not going to pitch a 3rd day in a row.
3 close games against the Phillies in that last series at Fenway. Much better against the lefties, but 5 homers against the righties out of the 6. Just enough of that inside corner.
I don't think he's doing that with intent, right? That ball cuts in. Generally, you want that changeup to stay straight or fade away.
He's missed with quite a few locations. Maybe he'll leave one here over the heart of the plate. 1-2. That one was down, and Riley swings through it. We are tied and off to the 9th inning. Truist Park is a spot, and here's a word from Truist.
Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist. Learn how knowledge and care can work for you.
All right, it's time to get Iggy with it. Raisel Iglesias, not a save situation, but he's on for the 9th.
And it's a big spot, obviously, here in a tie game. He's been great. You can see the numbers there. What's interesting to me so far about Iggy, all the talk about the changeup, and it is a really good changeup. His fastball has been dominant. 0.56 batting average against the Iggy heater.
2-seamer there, but in the dirt. He's got 3-4-5 in this Boston order, starting with Abreu. Change up high in the air. There is one away here at the top of the 9th.
And if you remember a year ago, right, Iggy was kind of going through it a little bit. There were some struggles. The slider was a big point of concentration. He's only thrown it 4 times this year. I can't remember. I might have had the game against the Dodgers, but he picked up a strikeout on one of those sliders, and I think it caught everybody by surprise. He's pretty much abandoned that pitch after the issues from a year ago.
Based on the results, he certainly hasn't missed it. Baldwin loses his mask there. Contreras got him on the backswing. I think it might have snapped. But Drake says, I know how to fix this. I've been through these wars before. looked pretty good.
Yeah, all the things you got to go through it as a catcher himself, even though he's playing first base right now. You know, Contreras feels terrible about it. He understands it. He's lived it.
Second year since moving over to first base. Moved there last year in St. Louis. And he is 0 for 3 tonight. A changeup running in on the hands of Contreras. A ball and 2 strikes.
This is the guy that Iggy has faced the most among the current Boston Red Sox. 1 for 12 with 5 strikeouts for Contreras against Iglesias.
Got a chance for a 6K here. He struck him out. And it's the slider.
It's like a best friend, right? You may not have seen each other for years, but when you do, it's like you saw each other yesterday. And this is that good version of the slider. And they all know it going in, right? They had the conversation you and I have just had. Take it out of the equation, battle against the fastball, both versions of it, and the changeup. And then here comes that slider.
Put it in a good spot outside the zone. He follows that up with 96 to Rafaela. It'll be 6, 7, 8 in the bottom of the ninth for the Braves, starting with Michael Harris. Yeah, currently that 8th spot, because the Braves lost the DH, is Raisel Iglesias. I don't think he's going to.
Oh, let's walk it off, Iggy.
Well, Iggy was trying to walk it off to the dugout there, but he missed.
He can't sell it like Birdie can. We know Birdie can sell some stuff around here. Iggy trying to sell a strike to the home plate umpire, but he's not buying it.
And after that, it's served into left by Rafaela, who makes a big turn at first, but Dubon able to get it back on the infield, hold him to a single.
Trying to go further away with this 4-seam fastball than where it ended up. It was down, but they wanted it down and away. Good job by Mauricio Dubon to get that ball in quickly.
Meyer at the plate. 95 off the inside corner.
So we know they have a hard time kind of stringing hits together. Thinking about Rafaela right now over at first base. Iggy's only allowed 1 stolen base this year, but it could be in play.
Not moving on the changeup. 2-0. th game since Chad Tracy took over for Alex Cora. This team 7 games under 500, but trying to win game 1 here in Atlanta. 3-0. And Meyer, green light. Meyer debuted last May. Here he is a year later. And he's earning a walk against Iglesias. So 2 on with 2 out. And the batter will be Monasterio. This is a guy in Monasterio, minimal power, but good plate discipline, does not expand much.
I feel like Iggy was being really careful with Meyer there for whatever reason. Maybe the home run that he saw earlier, but I don't imagine he'll be that careful now going after Monasterio here. Now with the runner in scoring position.
Now that Meyer homer, that's the one that tied it in the 7th at 2, and that's where we have been since. 1-2. See if Truist can give Iggy a little love here. Iglesias deals, and he goes to the slider. He got Contreras on that pitch. Monasterio a little more disciplined. And now the 2-2. He struck him out. Change up from Iggy to send us to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 2.
Meant for the big moments. The big moment right here, breaking out that excellent changeup to give the Braves a chance to win it and walk it off in the ninth. Zone and turns on it, smokes it into that Braves bullpen. It's been a very interesting night here, the way that both of these teams have scored their 2 runs. For the Red Sox, just mislocation on a couple of pitches has been the difference. With the Braves, they've hit some quality pitches.
Saw Iglesias for the Braves, and now Boston counters with their closer, the 8-time All-Star, the 38-year-old Aroldis Chapman.
Michael has faced him before, 1 for 4 with a base hit. These numbers, though, off the charts right now for a guy who is 38, still seeing that triple-digit fastball. And what he started doing later in his career was actually using the 2-seam fastball to finish off hitters compared to the 4.
Michael turns on it. About a 1.5 foot foul. He was ready for that.
And at just 95 miles an hour again, because you will still see 100 once in a while. Michael not going to let a first pitch fastball go by, and just a little bit ahead of it. If it was like 98, that probably is a double.
Second year in Boston for Aroldis Chapman. He was spectacular last year when he was 37. Now 38. 0-1 pitch. Drops a slider in there, and Michael goes 0-2.
You can see that one coming from a mile away, right? He's way ahead of the fastball. He's trying to time it up. And so if you're Michael, you're thinking about the heater again. He goes with that slider, and the differential is significant. I think he's throwing his 35th pitch right now. Is how much he's sweating.
A lot of perspiration out there. .98, still 0-2.
And the other thing that's really odd about him, using that 2-seam fastball more, but he throws it harder on average than his 4-seamer by about 1.5 miles. You don't see that.
And he gets Michael on that slider. So he went sinker, slider, 4-seamer, back to the slider. What away.
Just a tough pitch, left on left. It has been. Lefty. It's not been a lefty in baseball that has gotten a hit off that slider so far this year.
Ha-Seong Kim. Broken bat. It stays fair. Kiner Falefa across. 2 down. And now Kyle Farmer will hit in the 8th spot in the order that was held by the pitcher Iglesias.
It is time for Kyle Farmer's brave moment. Let's go. He has faced Chapman a couple of times in his career, but it was all the way back in 2023 and 2022.
35-year-old Atlanta native, playing for the team that he grew up watching night in and night out. Can't do much with 99 painted on the black inside.
If you're geared up for the fastball and you try to get it started early, you're going to do exactly what Kim did against 99, which is break your bat.
Well, Chapman is so tough. 1,351 career strikeouts, looking for 1,352. Farmer still has life. 100 that time from the lefty. Those strikeouts for Chapman, second all-time among relievers, and he's closing in on Hoyt Wilhelm. He's only 12 away from him for the major league record for a reliever. 0-2 pitch. And Farmer sends this one into the seats.
So it's triple digits, but the other thing that you get here with Aroldis Chapman is unbelievable extension. He is up over 7 feet. So not only is he throwing it hard, but he is really close to you when that fastball is coming out of the hand.
By the way, Fuentes is up in the Braves bullpen. And Didier Fuentes is going to be called on for extra innings in a 2-2 ball game between the Braves and Red Sox. By Chevrolet, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. And by Cheerwine, the unique cherry flavored soft drink of the South. 65 degrees here on this Friday night in Atlanta, and we've got free baseball, as they call it. On to the 10th. 2-2, and Fuentes, who last pitched on the 12th a few days ago and threw 3 innings, is coming on for Atlanta.
Yeah, and I think they probably would have liked to give him an extra day if they could, right? It's 2 days rest, and now he's back. It was one of his longer relief outings, but he has been really good. He was great in that one. You look at his last 5 outings, he has only allowed 1 earned run. It's been 8 2/3 innings over that time.
The runner out at second is Monasterio. The batter is the catcher Narvaez. Corner infielders creeping in, thinking maybe a bunt. Called strike. 0-1. Challenge, yes.
Man is challenging the call ball.
It's a good one here by Drake.
Absolutely.
Call's overturned for a strike.
I know you told me this already. They don't carry over, right? Or they
right.
do?
So you do not, like if you have 1 going to extras, you do not get a second.
So so basically the Red Sox says 2, but they really don't have 2.
Right.
Okay. I feel like it should carry over, but almost like he should be rewarded for it.
They get 2, swing and a miss. But the Braves don't get another, so the Braves had 1.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the Boston keeps their 2.
Oh, it does carry them.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. Never
but
mind.
if you have 0, you get 1.
Yep.
If you have 1, you don't get 2.
Ah, okay.
That's the difference.
Probably like the 4th or 5th time I ask you that this year, I'm going to remember it.
Well,
I'm going to listen to your answer.
And Gretchen in tandem with me there. It's teamwork.
Just tell him that a week ago.
Teamwork makes the dream work. A big strikeout though of Narvaez, and now Kiner Falefa. Remember, he came in as a defensive replacement, so this is his first at bat tonight. To the right side, Ozzie over. So there's your second out. Monasterio to third.
That's why you love having swing and miss in your bullpen, right? The Narvaez strikeout was a big one, and it gives you that opportunity now to get out of this inning, even with contact, and a real chance to win it then in the 10th.
Jaron Duran is the batter. A walk. He's 0 for 3 tonight, besides that walk in the first. Both teams have played 2 extra inning games this season. Braves have lost both, or rather Boston's played 3. They've won 1 and lost 2. That bounces away, but did that hit him? Yes, it bounced and hit Duran, and so the runners will be at the corners.
Pulled 4-seam fastball here. Yes, square on the knee. It also got Drake Baldwin there in the chest protector.
3 spots: the knee, then the tricep, and then the chest protector, and that's going to lead Jeremy Hefner to come out and talk to Fuentes.
Yeah, talk a little strategy here, possibly even talk about the runner with Jarren Duran over there at first base. So we know he can run a little bit. Mentioned that he was 9 for 9 in stolen bases coming into tonight. And the question is, how much attention do you want Fuentes to pay to him? Is it a big run? It is. But at the same time, the guy at home plate is much more important.
And the batter is the 30-year-old Mickey Gasper. Had a long road to the majors. Didn't make his debut until he was 28 a couple of seasons ago. Only 62 big league games, but he is in a big spot right here. And he has had a nice night, a couple of hits and an RBI back in the 6th. Swing and a miss at that slider from Fuentes. A pair of sliders to start the at bat. 1-1 pitch. Liner, but there is Ha-Sung Kim. Johnny on the spot. Everybody can exhale. Braves will try to walk it off when we return. Here in the bottom of the 10th, Mike Yastrzemski, Mauricio Dubon, and Drake Baldwin. Ha-Sung Kim is the runner at second base. But it should be the pitcher spot. They got that last out when Farmer struck out in the ninth. But anyways, it's Kim at second, showing bunt, and Yastrzemski pulls it back.
Interesting. I wonder, because it's Fuentes' spot there, because the Braves lost the DH, that there is some kind of rule in there to protect the pitcher. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what Gretchen and I were just discussing. I've never seen this before. Tries to lay it down, but unfortunately that one goes foul towards Kiner Falefa.
And that's the play right here, right? With the runner at second base, of course, getting the bunt down, but also where you get it down. Hard to third base. If you can get the third baseman to field the ball, Kim gets the third very easily. What we haven't seen, at least so far defensively, from the Red Sox is them trying to cut that runoff over at third base, where you run that wheel play and you have somebody over at third to be able to help out.
Tyler Samaniego deals, and that one goes foul. Kiner Falefa, I think he saw his life flash before his eyes there for a second.
And Kim was in a really bad spot because if that ball gets caught in the air, he can't get doubled up. So we had to make sure that he saw it down. It was in the air for a long time. And Kiner Falefa made a really good decision. There was a lot of grass. He read that spin right. Or just got lucky.
This lefty that's in, though, Samaniego, is a 27-year-old rookie. He just debuted 5 weeks ago. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. He grew up a Braves fan. And now he's brought into this spot here in the 10th inning. Yeah, swinging and fouling it away.
So that was very interesting to see, and still is. It's 2 strikes, and yet you have Contreras still playing on the grass.
Yeah, he's even with a bag at first. Yastrzemski out to left center. It drops down. It gets by Rafaela. It's a walk-off Friday night winner in Atlanta.
impressive there for Yaz. Left on left, couldn't get the bunt down. You know he's frustrated with himself, but he's been locked in. He's been seeing the baseball very well lately. The quality of swings have been solid, and this was not easy to do, and he stung it. A lot of times you're thinking, let me just hit a ground ball to the right side. Let me get him to third. Instead, no, fastball middle away. I'm going to drive it to the opposite field. He keeps his head down, and just an absolutely beautiful piece of hitting when you are facing a left-handed reliever, especially one who's done so well this year. Ha-Seong Kim's going to score easy, and Didier Fuentes saying, I could have scored on that one. Let me run, Skip. And another win for Fuentes, by the way, out of the bullpen.
And the celebration is on, and Birdie is with Yaz.
You got it, guys. I'm with the hero. I don't want to make too much of this, but your last name against the Red Sox coming through, red out, unbelievable. How much fun are you having?
Ton of fun. Probably, you know, this sounds weird, but I would have felt better about it if I got the bunt down.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'll take it. So yeah, just try to get grindy there.
An incredible pitching matchup tonight. I mean, those guys running out there all throwing 100 miles an hour. What was that like in this dogfight?
That's where you prey on defense and late inning hitting. You know, you got to hope that it comes at the right time, and our bullpen was lights out. You know, to see Didi come in there and shut the door like that, that was huge. So, yeah, can't say anything better about those guys.
I got to keep coming to you if you're going to keep coming through over and over and over again. The bubblegum hat, what is this like for you after struggling a little bit early on?
Yeah, it's just gratifying. You know, the hard work will eventually pay off. You know, you just got to keep fighting through it and trust the process, trust the hitting coaches, trust yourself most importantly, and eventually it'll come through.
Well done.
Thank you.
Absolute blast to cover. Great interview. Works hard. Does it all. Again, not the superstar MVP caliber, but one of the best on this team at coming through, guys.
And he came through in a huge moment. The grandson of the great Carl Yastrzemski, who spent so many years dominating with the Boston Red Sox, 18-time All-Star. And how about grandson Mike Yastrzemski against Grandpa's team with the walk-off winner tonight here at Truist Park. Special stuff. Post-game show is coming up next, and it will be a happy one with Nick and Pete to take you the rest of the way. Thanks for walking in with us tonight on a Friday night in this red out, where the Braves walk it off with the Yastrzemski heroics. For our entire crew, for Birdie downstairs, Paul Bird, for CJ Nikowski, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off and saying so long, everybody.